On September 7, 1944, a baby boy was killed in Los Angeles, USA. The child was found dead on the roof of a building, and the charge of killing him was directed at his mother. The mother of the child is Dorothy Jean Purcell. She was staying with her partner in a hotel in Los Angeles. During one of their nights at the hotel, Dorothy felt the symptoms of labor and childbirth and went straight to the bathroom without telling her partner. There she gave birth to her child, who believed that he was born dead due to her inexperience. Dorothy took her child to the window of the room and threw him out of the hotel. This is not the only incident in this hotel. In Los Angeles, specifically on Main Street, there is a hotel called Stay on Main. At first sight, this hotel looks like other budget hotels. An old building built of bricks and cement, and the interior has a classic design with a lobby decorated with marble. But behind this outward view are stories and unforgettable events for the people of Los Angeles. The name of the hotel wasn't always Stay on Main. This new name could be an attempt to get away from the hotel's history, but the hotel is still known by its former name, known as one of the most deadly places in the history of Los Angeles, which is Cecil Hotel. Cecil Hotel was founded in 1924 as a hotel to host businessmen and tourists. The hotel had approximately 700 rooms and was decorated with marble, stained glass, and tropical palm trees. However, the hotel founders did not expect the economic crisis that had occurred in the world in the late 1920s and 1930s, which transformed the area around the hotel into a gathering place for thousands of poor and homeless people. The hotel has turned from a luxurious place to a gathering place for criminals and drug dealers, and for all kinds of suspicious people. There are people who say that Cecil Hotel is haunted by ghosts, and there are others who say that the hotel is cursed. No matter how different theories about the hotel, it has one basis, which is that during the years, the hotel witnessed an extraordinary number of events and stories that made the name of the Cecil Hotel linked to violence and death from suicides, attacks, and murders. The first incident was in 1931, the incident of the suicide of a man named W.K. Norton, who booked his hotel room with a fake name and ended his life by poisoning himself. Norton's suicide was the beginning of the chain. The hotel gained a reputation as a suicide spot due to the frequent suicides that occurred in the hotel, most of which were by jumping out of the windows. The most famous of these suicides is the suicide of a woman named Pauline Otten in 1962. She jumped out of her room window after a fight with her husband. At the same time, there was a man in his 60s walking in front of the hotel. His name was George Giannini. Pauline fell on him and ended his life with her. Regardless of the suicides, the hotel is famous for its relationship with several murders in the area, such as a murder for a woman named Goldie Osgood. Goldie, who was an old woman and was loved in the area, was known for feeding her pigeons. It is known that the most violent thing Goldie has done in her life is intimidating the adult pigeons so that they don't eat the food of the small pigeons. Goldie's body was found in 1964 in a room at Cecil Hotel. A report that examined her body, saying that Goldie had been assaulted and beat, stabbed, and strangled until she died. Her murder has not been resolved until today. Cecil Hotel has also gained a reputation for being the home of serial killers. The serial killer Richard Ramirez is said to have lived in the hotel for 2 years, in which 13 victims were killed. He was throwing his blood-stained clothes in the hotel's containers. The serial killer Jack Unterweger was also living in the Cecil Hotel while he was in Los Angeles. It is said that he chose Cecil Hotel as his seat, following the road of Richard Ramirez. 3 victims, while he was staying at the hotel, fell to his hands. All these stories and events that have happened on the Cecil Hotel make many believe that the hotel is haunted by ghosts, but there is no story that has support and published these ideas, as the incident that happened to the hotel in 2013 did, which is the incident of Elisa Lam's death. Elisa Lam's death was the most famous incident in Cecil's history due to its strange circumstances. part of which was recorded on the hotel's surveillance cameras and fueled the belief that there are hidden forces that are taking place inside the hotel. Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old Canadian student. In 2013, she was staying at the Cecil Hotel while visiting Los Angeles during her college vacation. Elisa was traveling alone, but she was in constant contact with her family in Canada during the travel period. Suddenly, she stopped communicating with them. On January 31st, 2013, which was supposed to be the last day of her stay in Los Angeles, Elisa's family was worried. They contacted Los Angeles police and reported the disappearance of their daughter. The search for Elisa lasted for 2 weeks. The police used police dogs to search for the hotel, in which they asked the hotel staff and the owners of the shops around it to find any evidence of her disappearance. They found 2 guides. The first evidence is a testimony by the owner of a bookstore next to the hotel. The owner of the shop said that Elisa visited the shop on the same day she disappeared. She bought books and gifts for her family. Elisa's actions were normal that day. According to the story, she was talking to the owner of the shop and asking her about the gifts, and in general there wasn't anything strange about her. The second evidence is the recording of the surveillance camera installed in the Cecil elevator, which is the scariest guide. The recording starts with Elisa Lam entering the elevator, in which she seems to be scared, or that she is trying to hide from anyone or something. The elevator seems to have been broken at the time, because its door remained open throughout the video. The recording lasts for about 4 minutes, in which Elisa acts in a pretty weird way. She seemed to be trying to see a certain thing in the hotel's corridor, or she might be trying to make sure if this thing was still there or not. Later, Elisa came out of the elevator to the corridor and it was obviously hesitant, but then she returns to the elevator and starts pressing the buttons at random, as it appears to be an attempt to operate the elevator. Elisa enters the elevator a second time and starts performing strange movements and signals with her hands. She looks like she's talking to someone who doesn't look on the camera. Elisa then leaves the elevator. For some reason, the elevator is back to work again. The police published the recording on the internet, and the clip received interactions from millions of people. There are different theories about Elisa's behavior in the video. Some theories have said it may be trying to hide from someone trying to harm her, or she may be under the influence of drugs, or that her behavior came from psychological disorders. This is in addition to the theories that explain these behaviors as having something to do with ghosts. Several days after the recording spread, a number of hotel guests began complaining of water problems in their rooms. They said that the flow of water is weak and it has a strange color and taste. The hotel sent one of the maintenance workers to see what the problem was. The worker went up to the roof of the hotel to check the water tanks. And there was a surprise. The maintenance worker found Elisa Lam floating in one of the hotel's water tanks. After the body was extracted and the tests were conducted, no evidence was found to prove any physical assault or violence or even drugs. The police considered that Elisa Lam's death was an accident and closed the investigation file. Until today, there is no explanation from the Los Angeles police on how Elisa's body reached the water tank. Of course, this final result wasn't convincing for many people, and I am one of them, but I would like to hear your thoughts about Elisa's death, and do you really believe there is a curse in that hotel? Share me your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe in the channel. Bye.